again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with a continuation of the Tesselated Forest Filet, and we are on part 3, starting at row 11. Okay, so let's hop right in. Start off by chaining up of 2. And right now we're going to work on the second tier of branches going on here. So to start off, we did our first double crochet and we need 8 more for a total of 9. So we've got the 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 7, 8, and 9, because we need to shift our eyelets over in the same diagonal fashion, just, one over. So chain 1, skip the chain, and double. All right, so now for the body of the tree, we need a total of 19 double crochets. So 18 more because we just did this one. So let's get to it. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, then another eyelet, chain 1, skip the chain space, double into the next stitch so that it's going to have the diagonal going to the upper right, just like it went to the upper left. Got to have that symmetry going on. Now, for the space in between the trees, it's going to be a total of 11 double crochets. So we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So for the rest of the row, it's going to be alternating between 19 and 11 until we reach the last part. So we did our 19, we did our 11, so now we need another 19. So chain 1, skip the space, and double, and then 18 more so that we have 19. So let's get to it. And we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, chain 1, skip the space, double into the next. Pull out a little more yarn because we need it. Okay, so we did our 19. Now we need, because we're in between the trees, we need 11. Excuse me. Okay, so we did the 1, so we need 10 more to make up 11. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so we need another 19 for this tree. And then we are going to finish off where we started, which was a 9. But we have to do the 19 first. So chain 1, skip 1, and double. And 18 more for the 19. So 2, 3, 4. Close. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and last but not least, 19. Okay, so we need one more eyelet. So chain 1, skip the chain space, and double. Now we started with 9, so we have to finish with 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and last but not least, 9 into the last double. There we go. All right, so that is the beginning of our new tier of branches. All right, so that was row 11. All right, row 12 is an easy one. I think you guys are going to like this one. So start off by chaining up 2 as per usual. Turn the work. And because we have to have our eyelet shift over once again, we're going to need a total of 11 double crochets. So we did the 1, we need 10 more. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so now we need the eyelet. So chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next. And so this is what I like to think of as a row of 15s. Okay, separated by eyelets, of course. Now, you could count, which actually might make it a little bit easier because it can be easy to get confused as to are we working on the tree or the space in between the trees. So you might want to keep counting, but if you are mindful of the direction that your eyelets are going in, you don't really have to, but I'm just putting it out there. So we need 15. We already have 3 after the eyelet. We need a total of 15, and then we do another eyelet, then another 15, then an eyelet, etc., etc. for the rest of this row. Nice and easy in the grand scope and scheme of things, really. So that is what we're going to do. Okay, and we are approaching. And we are almost there. I just need to do one more. Like so. Now, if I count, it should be 15. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next. And now 15 more. So we have these eyelets going in one direction. The next set of eyelets are going in the opposite direction. So 2 already. That makes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, just in the right spot to make our next eyelet shift over. Chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next, and then another 14 more doubles for our 15, etc., etc. Don't you guys just love it? All right, let's keep going. Come on, there we go. Scoot your work over as needs be. So we're almost to the next eyelet. We're getting there. And one more. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, and double. And scooting. Okay, so then we need another 15 more, including this one, of course. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, another eyelet. So chain 1, skip 1, and double into the next. Okay, so this is going to be the last of the 15s because we're almost at the end of our well, the end of the width here anyway. So I've got the 1, I just need 14 more for our 15. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 'My yarn is misbehaving, pardon me. Sometimes you have to give it a pep talk. Okay, so I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 15. Perfect. Okay, so now I need to have my last eyelet in place. So chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next. Now, for this row, we began with 11, and we need to finish with 11. So I already have the 1. I need 10 more. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and last but not least, da, 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 11. All right, we're getting there. So let's keep going. All right, so we're on row 13. And if you've been paying attention to the numbers, you are going to notice how at this point, the tree is sort of reversing itself and how the actual tree and the negative space in between the trees is actually swapping itself. This will make more sense as we keep going. But initially, we need to start off with 13 double crochets. So let's do our chaining up of 2 and turn the work and do 12 more double crochets for a total of 13. Let's get on that. So we've got 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, now what I mean by the trees are sort of reversing themselves, well, if we go back to row 11, it was a row that started with the 9, and then it alternated back and forth between 19 and 11. Well, now it's flipped. So instead of 19 and 11, it's 11 and 19. Okay, so what's wide is now narrow, and what was narrow is now wide. So for the tree, it's going to be 11, and for the space in between, it's going to be 19. So we need to start off, of course, with our eyelet. So chain 1, skip 1, double into the next, and we need 10 more for a total of 11. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. And so now we've got the wide part in between our trees. So it's going to be a total of 19. So we've already done 1. We need 18 more. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, back to the 11s. So, got to do the eyelet first, of course. So, chain 1, skip 1, and double. 10 more for our grouping of 11. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Great. Okay, scoot the work over. So now we need the space in between the trees to be 19. So first the eyelet, chain 1, skip 1, and double. 18 more for our 19. So let's get to that. We've got 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay. Now we're going back to our actual tree here, so we just need 11. So first the eyelet, chain 1, skip 1, and double. 10 more for our total of 11. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Another eyelet, chain 1, skip 1, and double. Okay, so we started the row with 13. We need to end with 13. So we already did 1. We need 12 more. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and one more makes 13. So even though the trees and the space in between the trees, they flip-flopped, yes. However, the sides, because this is getting wider, it's wider than row 11, because with row 11, it started with 9, started and ended with 9. This one starts and ends with 13 because this negative space is getting bigger, not smaller, nor staying the same. So, that being said, let us continue on to row 14. Alrighty, row 14. This one's going to be a little bit trickier than some of the others because we're going to be starting another tier of branches, but you guys can do this with me. I know you can. So, because I'm going to walk you through it. So we're going to start, of course, by chaining up 2 and turning our work as per usual. Now, to begin with, we need 9 doubles total, so we need 8 more. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, with some of the previous rows, I'm like, you can just sort of look at, your previous work, no problem. This one, you really need to pay attention because we have the trees both growing and shrinking at interesting rates while we're doing this new tier of branches. So just be sure that your count is right. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Okay, so now, just like we did down here, we need 4 eyelets in a row. So let's chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next, chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next, chain 1, skip the stitch going into the next, chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next. Okay, so we've got that much done. Now, for the body of the tree, we need a total of 7. So we already have the 1, so we need 6 more. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now we need another series of 4 eyelets. So chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next, chain 1, skip the space, go into the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next. Okay, so we've got our 4 and our 4. Now for the space in between the trees, we need 11. So it's basically 7s and 11s with clusters of 4 eyelets. So we already have the 1. We need 10 more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay. Now we need another grouping of 4 eyelets. So chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next. Chain 1, skip that space, going into the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next. Okay, so now we're on the actual tree, so we need a total of 7. So I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next, because we're doing our grouping of 4 now. Chain 1, skip a stitch, going to the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next. Okay, so that was part of our tree there. Now we're doing the space in between the trees, so it's going to be 11. Okay, so we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Very good. Okay, another grouping of 4 eyelets. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. Chain 1, skip, and double. Chain 1, skip, and double. Okay, so this is the last tree for my width. So we need, again, total of 7. So we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Another grouping of 4 eyelets. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. 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 Okie dokie. So now at the beginning of the row, we started with 9. Well, that means we need to finish with 9. So we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. We're getting there. We are most assuredly getting there. All right. Onwards and upwards, my dears. All right. If you're still with me, congratulations. All right. We're on row 15. And this is going to be a bit of a a bit of a vacation for you because this is going to be a really easy row compared to the last one. So start by chaining up 2, turn the work. Now to start off with, we need 11 double crochets in total. So we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, there we go. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now, the reason why I say that this row is going to be sort of like a vacation is because actually it's a repeat of row 12, because this is a row of 15s, and we've done this previously, but let's do it together anyway, because I like spending time with you. All right, so we started with 11, but now it is a matter of 15. So we need our eyelet, chain 1, skip 1, and double, because we have to have them going in this, the diagonal direction still. Okay, so I need 14 more for my 15. And in this case, you kind of don't need to count, but I would recommend it anyway, just because I err on the side of paranoia most of the time. All right, so trundling our way along, because it's very easy to get lulled into a false sense of security and make mistakes. I've done it myself. But it happens. Okay, so just got a couple more to go. And I should be at my 15 momentarily. I think I'm there right now. All right, so let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, okay. So then chain 1, skip the space, and double. Ta-da. Again, because we need that diagonal. All right, scooting our work, and then we need 14 more for our new grouping of 15. We already have the 1. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. And now we need another eyelet. So chain 1, skip 1, and double. 14 more for our 15. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, scoot your work as necessary. Grab some more yarn as necessary. And make another eyelet. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. Oop. There we go. 14 more for our total of 15. Okay, so we already have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. It's a beautiful thing when things work, doesn't it? Isn't it beautiful? Ah, I love this. Okay, so we need another eyelet. So chain 1, skip 1, and double. 14 more for our total of 15. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and a knot. Oh, sort of a knot. There we go, just a bit of a tangle. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, and 15. Groovy. So one more eyelet to go. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. All right, so to finish off this row, we started with 11. We need to finish with 11. And so we've got the 1. We need 10 more. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Great. Okay. And that is the end of row 15. All right. All right, my dears. So as you can see, we've really made some progress, and I am loving it. And I hope you guys are too. Yeah, we're almost done with our trees, and in the next part of this crochet along series, I'm going to show you how to finish up the first full repeat, and then after that, it's up to you to decide how many repeats you want to do on your project. So listen, guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me, and if you enjoyed it, give a little thumbs up button down below, and stay tuned for the next part of this crochet along. But in the meantime, you know what to do. I want all of you, excuse me, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.